good evening, Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. And tonight we have our first ever episode of Shaketa Speaks. And Shaketa will be joining the show, doing her own show every other Wednesday. Um, Tonight's show, she's going to talk about an aspect of relationships. I find it very interesting. I don't know what it is. I've been doing it. I don't know. It's been a tricky sound lately, Shaketa. So don't pay that no mind. It's probably coming from the phone. There's some crazy feedback. I'm trying to figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. But anyway, Shaketa's going to be speaking about an aspect of relationships that a lot of us try to avoid and don't want to address all the time. And take it away, Shaketa.
Hi, everybody. So especially within the group, I've been seeing, we've been having quite a few conversations that all stem from holding down the wrong man. And I say the wrong man because we, the women in the group, are the ones who are doing the most talking. We're the most transparent. We comment the most on posts. And we were all, I think it might have been something you posted, when we were all discussing, holding down the wrong man and being there for him. And they forget you and leave you, in the dust. And, I was thinking about how all of that affects all of us. It even makes, the quote unquote good man bitter, because this good man feels like, I've provided, I've shown my woman that I can provide, I've done all these things for her, or I've been a good boyfriend, and I've come on hard times and she won't support me. She's not behind me. She doesn't stand behind me. She doesn't pick up the slack or the bills when I'm dealing, with hard times. And I just feel like if we can stop holding down the wrong man, it would make life easier for us. It'll make life easier for, the quote unquote good man that's out there that's, trying to struggle. And I think if we can understand and maybe have open dialogue on why and when we do, so maybe the next time you come across a good person, a good guy, and he requires a little bit of help, a little bit of assistance, you'll be able to help him, holding down men in jail for years, and they get out and they've disappeared, or you could have been holding down somebody that deserves it. Maybe he got a few parking tickets or speeding tickets and had to spend a week in jail and lost his job. And maybe he was irresponsible, or maybe he wasn't. But sometimes people need you to help them and support them. So, just wanted to kind of go over that and have that conversation.
Yeah, I just had the post. Let me see. I'm gonna just read the post again. Just had it. Very interesting. It was, "Do you love him enough to wait until he becomes who he's supposed to be?" But I'm gonna ask you. Do you think that um, she may see the potential?
Absolutely.
Like she's in love with the potential, but not in love with the product that's right in her face.
Right. Absolutely. But I think people misinterpret. I think people don't know or understand what potential means. Right. So somebody who has potential would be a young man in high school playing basketball, and he's phenomenal. He gets out into the street, he gets on the court late at night, and he's up all night long dribbling the basketball. The neighbors want him to go to sleep. He's in rain, sleet, hail, snow. He's outside bouncing, dribbling, practicing. That's potential. When other people come out and see him play, they're like, wow, he's amazing. He would be great in the NBA. That's potential. Having you seeing greatness in someone who has not displayed any greatness in himself is not potential. Like, you're like a fortune teller. Like, you want to be, like, you're like a psychic.
So you
trying to tell futures and
so why do you think that's one of the issues that plague our relationships? Is like, you dealing with like for example, we know what a lot of the statistics say about relationships. I
Absolutely.
mean, we can't avoid them. We could they are what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Women outdo men. Black women outdo their counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that so many women put up with it for so long?
I don't know. I don't know if it's the nurturing spirit. I don't know if it's a nurturing spirit. I don't know if it's you know, if it's cultural. A lot of despite what a lot of men and other women and other cultures may think, black women love and adore black men, and a lot of us know how hard they have it, and we want to help them all the time. Like again, we want to help the man who doesn't see greatness in himself. We want to speak life into them and help them. I mean, there are tons of men out here that are like, I have all of this great potential, and I can't find a woman to speak life into me. She's out here speaking life into bombs. You don't know what that man means to her, and you don't know who that man is. You just see her struggling in that relationship, and you think to yourself, well, why can't I have someone like her? Oh, because she's out here loving on the bombs. So, you have all kinds of people looking at this person, supporting and struggling with this man that people believe doesn't have any potential. I believe everybody has some type of potential, but you have to know when to draw the line. And then when you don't know when to draw the line, and they begin to be parasites and completely suck you dry and take everything from you, you're the first one that says, I held this person down and this was the wrong person, and they deserted me or left me, or when they left me, then they got this job as a police officer, or they got this job as a longshoreman, or they got this job as a manager, and now he's making all of this money. He's off with somebody else, and I helped him. I did that, so it makes you resentful when you're holding down the wrong person. And I'm not going to say that this is always the case.
Anybody in the chat that has any questions regarding what Shakita's talking and mentioning, feel free to ask. The engagement is important with having this discussion and trying to just come up with um, some results instead of us just discussing it.
Right.
One of the things, Shakita, and I know we both seen the movie when we were younger, was Terry McMillan's movie Disappearing Acts.
Mm,
That basically speaks to the premise of what you're talking about. Like, she was invested in him and he was off somewhere else. We know that we could say that it's cultural. Like we said, we could say it's cultural. We could say it's just systemic or whatever. But like, do you think that at a certain point a man or a woman, if they do have that attraction to each other, they want to be together. If he can't do what he's supposed to do for her, you think he should tell her like, look, I can't do this because I can't take care of you the way you deserve to be taken care of. How should they go about it? How would you think they should go about it?
I believe that there are men out there that say that, and then I also and we don't believe them. Like, I've had men say, I'm not good enough for you, and the first couple of men, I didn't believe them, because I was like, well, I like you. How could you not be good enough for me? And then once I understood what that really meant, the next time I had a man say to me, I'm not good enough for you. You deserve better. I literally was like, you're absolutely right. Because when somebody looks you in your face and tells you that they're not good enough for you, or you need to be with someone better, you gotta believe them. And don't think it's reverse psychology. Don't think that they're trying to, butter you up, soften you up to stay with them. Get on a first thing smoking and go pleasantly and politely and gladly, and be grateful that you got the nod to walk out and leave, right?
But it,
Then you have other people who won't say that, and you need to make that decision for yourself. You cannot speak life into someone who doesn't see the life in themselves. So how long are you going to be with somebody trying to trying to cultivate them and make them what you want them to be, and they won't. It makes no sense.
Mm, mm.
And I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. I'm no expert. I've just I'm so transparent that I've had these relationships and I communicate and I talk and I've had these conversations. So when I look back at it and I think to myself, you know, I wasted that time or that relationship, you know, I look back at it and I think to myself, wow, you know, I could have saved myself so much time. And then to hear people complain and be miserable and say, you know, I did all of this for this person. I wasted my good years. I wasted my good body years, you know, trying to hold down this man. There are plenty of, and I'm not going to say plenty, but there are, if you would let him go, and we're talking about people who don't see potential in themselves. If you could move on from that and stop trying to, you know, pick these projects where you're taking care of somebody and doing something for them. There are men out there that need support. There are men out there that are starting new businesses and want like to have a business partner. You know, have those discussions and conversations when you meet them. You know, it's like some women would be like, I'm not looking for, you know, just somebody to sleep with. I'm looking for a business partner. I'm looking for somebody I can travel with. I'm looking for somebody that I can learn and learn things from. They're there. They're out there. But you have to make yourself open to that. You have to say those things when you first meet someone and stop wasting that type of time. If you meet somebody and you say that, you know, and they're like, oh, well, what kind of business are you looking for? Have those types of conversations and find out what kind of people are out there. You know, if you can put sex aside and have better conversations when you're meeting people and when you realize that this person is not on your level, and that's not a diss to them, right? Like somebody not being on your level is not a diss. It's not you thinking you're better than anybody. It's the truth. If somebody is not on your level, regardless of where that level is, you're supposed to take care of yourself first. So if they're not on your level, leave. Keep it moving. Everybody is
I,
not meant to be with. Everybody
I
isn't.
know. I know. A lot of times you know, because of your transparency, we discussed a lot of times on the record and off the record, where a lot of people may take your transparency, your forwardness as men bashing.
And mean, you know, you're mean, you're rough, whatever. I could care. You know, that's fine.
Do you think that because I know when we talked about the show prior, we were gonna you had a guest that was gonna come on. Do you think that the 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 statement of men bashing, or even if a guy is doing it, is because you don't want to lower your expectation or standards of what you want?
You have to understand that people who, when you're discussing what you deserve, that usually makes certain people very uncomfortable. Like how, and I often say this: how does I discussing what I deserve make you feel so small and so insignificant that you would then project your feelings on me and tell me that I'm bashing men? I haven't said anything about a man.
Hmm.
I'm telling you what I deserve. And what I deserve is what I say and what I feel and what I know. Like that makes you uncomfortable. I'm not putting myself in a box or making myself smaller to make you feel comfortable. I'm not. There are men that I go out with and they get it and they understand it because they have this, they're on my level. They feel exactly the same way. I deserve someone like this. I want somebody like that. I want somebody that understands this. I want somebody to understand that. And then the other times you're having that very same conversation with some men, and they be like, well, how do you want that? Like, well, what makes you think you deserve that? When you're having those types of conversations with people, you have to remove yourself. Enjoy the rest of the night. Sip on your little drinks, have you finish the conversation. When it's over, why would you go out with them a second time?
Y'all just went out for cocktails. That's it.
Yeah, just let it go. It's, you know, we're not on the same page. Oh, I had a good time. I had a good time last night. You know, when are we going out again? I had a great time too. I just don't think that that's a good idea. And move on.
Never worry.
No, everybody ain't for everybody. I've
That I
had, you
think
know, and I don't, and you know, and I could defend myself and say, you know, I'm not men bashing. I mean, I literally just said there are great men out there that need support. But if you as a woman don't understand who to hold down, how you should hold someone down, and what that means, you're never gonna find them. You're never going to find them. Then you have men who complain and say, well, I want a woman to hold me down. They're not holding me down. They're holding down bums. As a woman, sometimes women don't know what that means to hold you down. So what do you need? What do you require? But I feel like men just sometimes are just not transparent enough or honest enough to have real conversations without always hearing the wrong thing. You have an opportunity when you're spending time with someone or getting to know someone to really be transparent and tell them what you need and what you're looking for. And I think, the same men that complain about, being taken advantage of, buying somebody some food are the same men who just want to take you out for food. They just want to be in your space. They just want to go out with a woman that they think's attractive and buy her dinner. They don't want anything else because there's no transparency in these conversations. It's none of that. So then you don't even know, you don't know what kind of woman she is. You just in your feelings when she eats and then doesn't want to be bothered. And she's not receptive to you. She's not receptive to you unless you're feeding her because you're not feeding her anything that is affecting her spirit mentally. Nothing whatsoever. So then you're the same man who says, well, I can't get a woman to hold me down. Maybe be more transparent and talk and have conversations so that, you can get to know people a little bit better. Maybe you'll run into those women that you can hold down. And it's the same I feel about women. If you can find the right man to hold down, you'll be fine too.
Well, that's a very interesting perspective. I'm not going to say I disagree with you.
I
I
know
just
you.
think that, but my thing is, I know that being transparent, having that communication is very important. I mean, like you said, that a person will be physically attracted to you. They want to get to know you, but they want to date you with food to death.
Ooh,
Like, yo, I do like to eat good food, but like, you can't think of nothing else.
you have to understand that eating, I have to eat to survive, right? If you don't take me to eat, I'm still going to eat. I'm still going to eat. Then you are, asking these, when am I going to spend time with you? When am I going to see you? Maybe we can go grab something to eat. She's literally right in front of you. And granted, you can't give somebody 100% of yourself when on the first date, but when you are doing these food dates, you're just sitting and talking and chatting. That is your Women are very receptive to most men who are talking and saying things and stating their intentions and talking about what they need. I find that as I'm getting older, if I go out with a man a couple of times, if he I expect you within that first outing, right? Because we probably spoke on the phone a few times. So I'm expecting on that first outing for you to start stating your intentions, talking about, what you're looking for, what you want, what you want to do. Like, have a real conversation with me. Don't waste this moment. Don't waste this
I'm
time.
I'm gonna ask you, and I know that when we speak, we can't speak for. I can't speak for all men. You can't speak for all women.
Let
Do
me
you
take my
think that? Do you think that most women just want a guy to be like, look, what you doing? This what we doing. Like like he's not gonna take no for an answer, and he's not gonna quote unquote give you that. Not saying the option to say no, but he's going to lead. And what I mean is, what are you doing? Throw some clothes on. You ain't gotta throw nothing fancy on. We going for a ride, and it could just be a ride. Maybe this, like where we live at, maybe the South Jersey somewhere, to enjoy the air, enjoy the skyline or whatever, and
and
just come
talking.
back up and talk.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
do you think more women prefer that type of guy, or prefer the guy that just gonna sit there and be like, "What we doing?"
They literally, first of all, we all hate the, what are we doing? We all hate the man that begs you to go out. And then he goes, so where do you want to go? We all hate that man. So not only have we only been on a date or two, but you're not taking the opportunity during the dates to really allow her to get to know you or really telling her what you want and what you're looking for. Like, and I don't know what people are waiting for, right? That's just like somebody dropping into your inbox all the time. Hey, beautiful. Hey, beautiful. Like,
Oh
Not
boy.
wasting the
Oh
time.
boy. Oh boy. Now we on a whole different
Right. But no,
subject
but
now.
seriously, the time that you're wasting trying to play it cool is the time that you're missing to state your intentions and see if this person would even remotely be on your page. So if you drop into somebody's inbox and you're super, super interested in her, just ask her for her phone number and say, I would like to get to know you. Can I have your phone number? Instead of wasting your time with the back and forth inbox. Once you get her phone number and you small talk, ask her out. At the date, that is your opportunity to ask her questions about herself. For you to tell her things about you. I'm looking for a relationship. I want to be in, whatever it is. If you're, and I'm talking about people that are seriously looking, who are ready for love, want to be in love. You have to take those opportunities that when you're in front of somebody to tell them how you're feeling or what's going on, so you can stop making all of these mistakes. It doesn't take that long. Women, we're ready. We want a man that takes charge. We want him to plan dates. We want him to know what he wants. You know what I mean? Like, say it, do it, get dressed. What are you doing? We've already been on a date. I gotta take a ride. You want to come with me? Are you
So
kidding me?
so y'all don't want the serial inboxer?
Boy, that's my favorite line. That's a
You heard
whole
me?
thing in itself.
I call it the serial inboxer. Y'all don't want the serial inboxer?
They have to stop it because, and you know what? I feel like I don't know if it's made people, because I know a lot of women that do it too. So I don't know if it's made people super super comfortable. But if you're, and that's how I have a hard time taking anybody in my inbox seriously. Because if you really want to get to know me, when are you going to ask me for my phone number? Like, what is this inbox thing we're doing? Just ask me for my phone number. Get out on a date. Have those conversations. State your intentions. I remember once before we had somebody on the show and he was like, I don't date. But he meets women and he spends time with them and they're just friends for a long time until maybe that works for some people. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that with anybody. And I'm not going to be receptive to any man who does that. I know what I want. I know what I'm looking for. I know what I'm interested in. So you get one date to say what you need to say to me and get it out and act like you got some sense. Or I'm just gonna keep on moving on to the next one.
Yeah, Nicole had mentioned that she thinks a woman is looking for a man to take charge at times, and then Rita said, "Be assertive." Like,
Absolutely. Yeah. If you're interested in me, when are you gonna tell me? Though on the 20th time that you said good morning, Queen, in my inbox? Because that ain't happening. Because now I'm gonna ignore you. And I'm never gonna take you seriously. Ever.
so
Ever. And
so
I'm
now
going to
we done now we
screenshot
done
and I'm going to send it to my friends in the group chat. And I'm going
now
to
we
say, this man didn't inbox me again this morning to me some good morning, beautiful. If he don't go to hell. Because I do this in at least two groups. And we laugh and make fun.
we done
You don't want to
discussed
be that
this.
man.
We done discussed the serial inboxer.
Yeah, you don't want to
So
be him.
so majority of women, we're all about the same age, generational age bracket. Like at this age, be assertive. Be like, yo, I'm coming through. Like I like the reason why I ask that is some guys know how to come through when they want to have sex or whatever, but they don't know how to just be assertive when it's time to do other stuff.
What'd you say?
I said some guys may be assertive when they want to have sex. You calling
Oh,
me at 2 o'clock in the morning talking about what you doing
I don't want to be
instead
bothered.
of instead of being assertive when it's like other things like yo, just maybe she just want to take a ride with you or something.
But you know what I noticed too, though? And this is not all men, because I think some men do this. The man who will not say, yo, get dressed, come take a ride with me, and let's hang out is not the kind of man. The other men who only call you to have sex with you don't want to be in a relationship with you. I feel like the men who are investing a little bit more time, like, the one who works late and he says, I'm getting off late. How about meet me for dinner? I feel like that man is trying. You know what I mean? Like, and even if you're not hungry, be like, well, I ate, but I still want to spend time with him and see him. You can go and have a drink and maybe an appetizer and just hang out with him because he's worked all day long, but he's still trying to spend time with you. The man who has to run errands, but he also wants to spend time with you. He said, well, get dressed, come take a ride with me. I got to ride to the city. Like, if you don't mind riding with me. That's the man that's trying. So we're not talking. I think those are completely different men. I think those are different men. Those kind of men you can try with. The man who says to me, I've been thinking about you and I really want to get to know you, or I want to spend time with you, or I really like you. That's the man that I give energy and attention and time to, because he's vocalizing that he likes me. And some people be like, well, how I'm not ready to tell nobody that I like them, that soon. Okay, well, you can go on and occupy somebody else's time. Because if you're not excited about spending time with me and being in my space, then I don't want to be in yours. It's nothing worse than a man begging me to go out. Oh, when we gonna take you out? I think you're so pretty. I think you're so pretty. And I get on this date, and I got all dressed up to go on this date. I'm sitting across from you, and you're giving me nothing. You won't look me in my eye. You looking all around. Yeah, meaning me to death.
What'd you say?
Y'all mean me to death.
Oh,
Y'all
so
mean me to death. Not complimenting me, not being pleasant, not being sweet, don't smell good, don't look good. And then half of those men want you to split the bill and go Dutch because he doesn't want to invest in a date. He wants you to equally invest. I don't have to equally invest in shit. And I don't want to be with no man that need me to do that on the first date.
I knew Dutch was going to make his appearance during this conversation.
Dutch is makes my stomach.
Told you, we about the same age, and I never heard of it before. Because that my grandfather, if my I don't even want to get into it.
I never even heard of Dutch until I became an adult. And that's, of course I was young, but I never heard my mother or my grandparents or anybody talking about no Dutch. Haven't even heard of that. So, I'm not doing that with nobody. But I'm not interested in dating nobody like that either. But anybody that's not interested in you for whatever reason, that's fine. That means that person just is not for you. Quietly and kindly, politely move on and go find somebody on
So,
your level.
so Julia made a statement, which is interesting. I'm gonna ask a question off of her statement. So, do women like to be hunted?
I don't I don't know what
Woo! Oh,
I don't know
oh!
what that means per se.
Wait till you see the replay of this one, because your facial expression just now, your
I
facial expression just now.
Let me
Woo,
tell you,
woo.
I don't know the details in the hunting, but I've had bad experiences, right, with men and some levels of hunting, I guess. So I don't want to be hunted. I definitely want to be courted and pursued. And I get she doesn't mean literally hunt, but I feel like a lot of men don't understand that either. They don't know what no means. They don't understand when somebody doesn't like them. And I've had men who I've gone out with and I didn't really like them, right? They were okay. And they begged to go on another date. And I kept saying no, kept saying no, and they refused to take no for an answer, even though he could hear my voice, see my body language, me telling him I'm not interested. Nah, come on, let's go. Like to be pressuring somebody that you can see that's not interested. I feel like you're never going to persuade them to fall in love with you. So what
Mm.
kind of relationship are you
Yeah,
looking for?
that's
Then there are some
that.
women that are busy, right?
The
Because
hunt, the
needs
hunt
to
done
go
turned
out,
into
and
a
I can be like,
stalk.
I'm not available this week, right? So I could be like, I'm not available. I'm super busy. All right, well, all right, I'll check again. A man that keeps checking because he really wants to spend time with you and knows you're busy, I feel like that's a pursuit. But then I feel like you don't even have to keep asking me. You can send me flowers and show me you're interested. You can send a card, you can send flowers, you can send candy, you can do nice things to say, you know what, I know she's busy. I want to spend time with her, but she's not available. Let me send her a kind gesture. I think that's where men fall short. They don't know how to court a woman. And when you have women who are busy business owners, mothers, all kinds of things. When a woman isn't interested in you, it's something completely different. But women that want to spend time with you, but really just don't have all of the luxury because of life and kids or whatever else, those are the men that should spend a little bit of, sending flowers is $50. That's your
I
money.
believe I believe most women will tell a guy if they're not interested.
I believe that too. I believe that too. That's why when it kind of makes me cringe when I hear men say, that a woman used him for dinner. I feel like and you were hoping that if you got her out and fed her, she'll go out with you. I feel like it's a setup. I feel like
Just
because it's the only thing you've ever offered. You don't offer anything else. It's not like you're like, let's go see a play or let's go to the museum. Or how about there's an Italian festival in Brooklyn? Let's go and walk around and get snacks and shit. You're not talking about doing nothing like that. You just want to go get something to eat. I feel like you just want company. So these men that
yeah,
complain about being taken advantage of over some food, I think they be knowing it. And
I
then the
think I
men
gotta
who get taken advantage of and really don't know no better, I blame the people in your circle because when you want to pursue and attract a woman, you don't keep asking who wants to eat. Send her something.
I think at a different at a different age, dinner is so much. When we're younger, dinner is more symbolic. Now it's like nothing to break bread with somebody. Like let's go get something to eat. Like
Yes,
if you ain't going to eat with your friends, male or female, something is wrong. Like that's
right,
what we do. So
right.
I don't think that I know that some people put significance in eating as a date, but I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
but they don't even be talking about like brunch. Like I take me where they got bottomless mimosas. You want to impress me? Take me to brunch. I love me some brunch. Take me to brunch. Take me to lunch. Take me out in the daytime. Do something. But then again, like I said, I don't. I think these are different types of men. I don't think those men who only want to take you to get something to eat. I don't. I honestly don't think that they're interested in a real relationship because I think that they would invest in you better than that. I just
Mm.
really, really do. And I hate and I've talked about the type of men that I date and then I get a lot of backlash like I'm making it up or some shit or like I'm, living in fairy tale land. I feel like men who are really interested in you will come up with, better things. And I dated a guy not a while ago who was like, well, you plan better dates than me. So, I just let you come up with the dates. And I was like, I don't want to always have to come up with the dates. Like, what do
That's
you
not
want to? Yeah, what do you want to experience with me? Plan that, and then you quickly learn that they don't want to experience anything with you, and that's the same man that only wants to go out to eat with you. He doesn't want to experience anything with you. He doesn't want to do anything special with you. He
that's not
literally
the
only wants to go out to eat.
and that's not the assertiveness that most women would expect from a man. Expect that man to be like I said,
Right.
what you doing? Throw something on. Take a ride.
First of all,
Um,
it's fall. Wine tasting is off the hook. There are all kinds of outdoor eating places with fireplaces, beer tastings, wine
Pay
tastings,
attention, man.
flower picking. Pick your own flowers, bring your own scissors. The shit's so goddamn cheap, and the flowers last 2 weeks. Like, there's so many activities to do right now. It's unbelievable. We just got out of being quarantined for months, so we missed the whole summer. So here we are in the fall. So it's cigar time, it's whiskey time, it's all of these different things that you can do and you can converse and get to know each other over all of this stuff. And if you want to go and get something to eat because you're hungry, go ahead. Because people got to eat anyway, right? But in the meantime, plan something else to do.
Yeah,
Beer gardens everywhere. The botanical gardens is open. The fall leaves are everywhere. The oh my god. Let me not tell nobody. I don't want to run into nobody I'm gonna see. Because I plan to be at the botanical gardens in the next week to look at all the pumpkin designs. So let me keep quiet.
if you see her, don't ask her out on a date.
If you see me, I'm gonna be on the date.
Pay attention.
Because that's how they roll.
So so look, we started the conversation out with
Holding down the wrong people.
holding down the wrong person. and we kind of veered off, which was good because this is where the conversation takes us. So, when do you think? I know everybody has a different time limit. I mean, do you? How can I say this? Do you think that holding them down, like even in the post, yeah, hold them down as a friend?
Yeah, I think that's the best thing you can do. I think that's the best thing you can do. I really, really do. Like, first of all, most men tell me that when they're dealing with something or they're going through something, they don't want to have sexual relationships. Like, they're not turned on to be, they don't want to even have sex, right? That's what I was told. So remove sex from the equation. You know, be more of a friend. Maybe you can help them with some resources or something. You know, remove yourself and stop investing in somebody that needs your help romantically. You know, at that moment, it's time for you to invest. If you're going to invest in someone, do it as a friend and help them from a friend's perspective.
Yeah, I know of certain situations where guys came home and certain women was there for them,
Hmm.
helped them get on their feet, helped them get their CDL,
Hmm.
and they just got on their feet. And a lot of the guys that have been in that situation, they always felt like they owed that particular female or females something, even though their relationship was just a friendship.
Hmm.
Um, because usually when a man needs help, it's because he had an interruption,
Right.
as I like to say, interruption in his life. Something may have happened, and he may just need that the moral support. He may just
Right.
need, even if he was away, he may have just needed a letter from a female,
Yeah.
like, look, this was what's going on. I got you, but this is what you need to do for yourself.
Right. Or somebody got laid off. Like, maybe you can make a connection or, introduce him to some, men that that, might be working somewhere, FedEx or UPS or, longshoreman, whatever. Like, maybe you can, assist them in a different type of way. Be helpful, be supportive like a friend. You know what I mean? Like, I've had men say, let's be friends. And I think to myself, my friends are really my friends and they really really hold me down, and I would do the same for them. So when you talk about being my friend, you don't really want to be my friend. So I'm very picky when I'm particular when men say let's be friends. But I've had male friends that have fallen on hard times, and I've done the best that I can. So you have to
I
be
think that I
friend
think that a
mindful.
lot of a lot of people are in relationships and they're not friends with the person they're in a relationship with.
Right,
They're
like
not
I've
their
had.
friend. They're not their friend. They're just in a relationship. This is a situation. You pay this bill. I pay this bill. We have sex. This, that, third. But other than like your friend,
Right.
um,
Like
and
I've
this is
had men
why.
say, I've heard people say, I want to be friends with my significant other before get in a relationship. And I find that to be difficult. I feel like when you're with the right significant other, your friendship builds from the moment you begin to date. You share things, you're transparent with one another. When you're dealing with something that's stressful or hard, you talk about it, you talk it out with each other, you say encouraging things to each other. The relationship doesn't end and stop with dates and a physical connection. You know what I mean? If when you're not well, when you're not feeling well, you're feeling sick, I can come out, drop you off something. Like, being a real friend, I think friendships develop. Like, I can meet somebody, a girlfriend, through another girlfriend, and immediately we hit it off and the friendship develops. I feel like that's the same thing when you have romantic relationships. If you want your significant other to be your friend, you have to work on that friendship from the beginning. The friendship and the romantic relationship should coincide. It should be able to run neck and neck and constantly be on a friend, wave, often, all the time. And then people who
Yeah, I
are in
gotta.
romantic relationships and they're not friends, it's because you never do. A lot of people don't think that that's healthy. They don't want to be friends with their significant other, so they don't build a relationship with them during the dating process. It's just physical and dates.
Yeah, I got a older friend that I'm cool with. He's in his mid 60s. His wife is in her early 50s,
Mhm.
and they when they met each other, they didn't have no sexual relationships for 18 months until they got married.
Okay.
and that was a vow that he sought after a 2 year relationship. I mean, that was what he sought after like a 10, 15 year marriage that went bad. And he said the next woman that he marries or the next woman he meets and he chooses to marry, he's not going to have no sexual relationships with her until they get married. And they actually been married for about 5 years now, 6 years, and their marriage is doing good. And he always talks about how he really got to meet his soulmate.
But do you see the difference is he didn't say, I just want to be your friend, and then maybe later on we can develop a relationship. He had enough sense to know that I can have a romantic relationship with you and learn to be your friend at the same time. The only difference is he removed the sex. A lot of men, I'm not going to say a lot of men, I feel like people who don't have intentions on being in relationships, they entice you with the maybe we can be in a relationship if this part works out. And I feel like that's, I feel like, and I feel like for a person who's ready for a relationship, you need to learn and understand when that's not for you. I know that I'm not building no relationships with no man for 18 months who has no intentions on marrying me or being in a relationship with me. You want to be my friend? We're going to be in a relationship, and we're going to build this relationship and friendship in this at the same time. I'm perfectly okay with removing sex. That's fine.
It's
That's
like
fine with me.
I call it the trick bag. It's like the bait and switch game. Like just say what you want. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
a lot
I
of
know
a
I
lot
know
of
for a fact that I can't be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't want to um build a friendship with me. Like I've met men and we've dated for say a couple of months, and they'll be like, I feel like you're a really good friend. And they be wanting more romance from me. And I be telling them like, you want me to be in love with you, you have to, that's the part you have to work on. Because you showing up to the show with nothing. But I'm gonna be a good friend because I'm just like that. So if you can't get if from what we're building, if you don't feel the romance, then we not this ain't gonna work. And it's fine. Let's all just move on. But I'm not gonna do anything extra because I am who I am. And then I meet men who'll be like, oh my God, you're so amazing. And I'll be like, see, there it is. That's the one. Even if it doesn't work out, even if it doesn't work out, but even if it doesn't work out like later on, like after a couple of months or a few weeks or whatever, from the beginning, he knows. He's like, that's it. That's it.
yeah.
Like,
It
you're
wasn't
everything. You encompass everything. And then you have other men that be looking for something else. If you're looking for anything else from me, buddy, I'm not the
wasted
one.
wasted my damn time and energy on
Yeah,
your
and it's
ass.
okay. Like I move on gracefully. It's okay. Like, and they be like, no, no, no. Well, maybe we could try. No, no, no. We ain't trying nothing else. You said it. I said it. I believe it. We feel it. You can't. I'm not a puppy. You can't train me to be something else, to do something different. So if you ain't feeling it and I ain't feeling it, let's just move on. You can't teach me nothing new. And not
Well,
when I meet men that be like, you the one. Like how I meet you? We a weekend and I'm the one. I'm it. I'm the shit. Them the kind of ones I want. I want them kind that like me from the door.
they ain't playing no games.
No, none. I like them kind. I be like, yes. I know it. I know what you feeling. I get it.
So the is there anything else you'd like to add, Shakita?
No, I think I'm all added out. I definitely miss you and Keisha and us going off about politics and stuff. We gotta jump on one day and start going off.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna probably do something.
Maybe after the next presidential debate, if
Election
Roman,
election election night, we might just do a show during the election.
or maybe like the day before.
So your next show is October 28th. Do you know? Do you have the subject on? You want to give
I
us a
have no
tease on what you're going to
idea.
talk
That's
about?
like 2 days before my birthday.
Oh, we going to talk about that. I mean,
I
do what?
have. I'm gonna do a. I have a basket to give away. I have a basket to give away with some good stuff in it, some candles. I'm going to add a gift certificate for
Who's gonna do that? You know, I got a message to Shaketa or Sweetest Charlie.
Shaketa.
Okay, who's
I'm
Sweetest
gonna do.
Charlie?
It's gonna have a gift certificate in it from um Forever Young by Toshiba. And it's gonna have a gift certificate for Layla Love with K Brown Massage. I have some other self care items in there, some masks, some good lotions, and I got a nice donation from one of my customers, a candle from my fall candle line. So it's
Okay,
gonna have some black business stuff in it, so I can do the giveaway that day, and then we can figure out something to talk about.
okay. That's October 28th, 2 days before her birthday. So
Mhm. Is that
make
2 days
sure.
before Wednesday? Wednesday.
Yeah,
3 days. 3 days before my
three
birthday, right?
days. Yes. So make sure you guys join us if you can, and we look forward to Shakita speaks. Y'all know she's strong with her opinions, so you
Yeah.
know
And I don't care
she
how nobody feels about it.
don't let her fool you. She had the facial expressions jumping today, so we know she was into the show as well. Shakita, we appreciate you, and thanks for joining us tonight, and
Thank you
thanks for your
guys.
show. It was really informative.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Good night.